Welcome back here in game number 2. Here we have the Cardinals versus Rams. Travis, a lot of big-time implications for both these teams. The Cardinals just outside looking in the regional, and the Rams looking outside versus in here in the tournament coming up, the Lone Star Conference tournament.
That's absolutely right. The Cardinals in 4th place in the LSC right now, really looking to improve their seed and also, as you mentioned, make the regional tournament. They're currently sitting in 9th, and for the Rams, trying to fight their way into the Lone Star Conference tournament, make it to Allen.
I don't know about that. You know, Travis, both these teams met earlier this season over in San Antonio. It was not a very good outing for the Rams, where they lost by over 30 points to the Cardinals.
It was 92-51, and really Incarnate Word controlled the tempo in that game, and the Rams just didn't shoot a great percentage. And so tonight, in my opinion, those are big keys for the Rams to control tempo, to make their outside shots, and I think we'll have a much different outcome tonight.
We always talk about how difficult it is to win the road. We'll see what happens here tonight. We'll have both interviews from both head coaches. This is the Lone Star Conference of FoxSportsSouthwest.com.
We strive for academic excellence. We believe in engaging our community. We're proud of our tradition. We exemplify respect on and off the field. We conduct ourselves with integrity, and we're committed to being the best. That's why we're the one. Lone Star Conference, we're the one.
Welcome back here in San Angelo, Texas. Let's talk about the visiting Incarnate Word team coming in here.
Cardinals 16-9 overall, 11-6 in the LSC. As we mentioned before, 4th best right now in the conference and sitting in 9th in the region, just outside. Key players, number 21, Chris Johnson, 6'7", senior forward from San Antonio, Texas, 14 points a game, 8th best in the LSC, shoots it at a high percentage, 50% and 80% from the free throw line. And then 7.9 rebounds per game, 2nd best in the Lone Star Conference. And then number 1, Sean Uma, 6'3", senior guard from Houston, Texas, 11.7 points per game, 18th in the LSC in scoring. Shoots at 48% from the field, 12th best in the LSC, and 37% from downtown.
We caught up with the head coach for the Incarnate Word, Ken Burmeister. Here's that interview. Welcome back. We have a head coach for the University of Incarnate Word, Coach Burmeister. Let's talk about tonight's game versus the Rams. What's your guys' strategy here with some keys?
Well, I think the key for us is get the ball inside and push it when we have the opportunity, and then make the right decisions at the end of our fast break. We like to play a little up-tempo, and then defensively we have to get out on their shooters because they shoot a lot of threes.
Let's talk about some of your players. Who for your team really stands out in your mind?
Well, I think we have 2 seniors that are playing outstanding. Sean Ume, who's all-conference last year, great defender on the outside. He can score. And Chris Johnson has just been playing like an MVP of the conference in the last 5-6 games. So we have to keep them out of foul trouble. And then our freshman, Denzel, is really coming on. And our big guy, Ian Markov, 7'1", and hope he finishes down there, and we should be able to dominate.
All right, we're heading down the stretch here. Conference tournament coming around. You like to ride momentum. How do you guys handle heading down the stretch here?
Win tonight. Simple as that. Keep the momentum going. We have a lot of days off. We don't play next week, so we might as well put it all out on the floor tonight.
All right, so how are you guys going to handle next week? But obviously a lot of practice time coming up before we head to Allen.
I don't know how the players are doing. I'm going out recruiting, so I don't know. We'll let the assistant coaches coach, and we'll go out and evaluate and hope we can get some of the players we've been looking at for about a year now and see what happens from there. But it'll be a tough situation. We had the same thing right after Christmas. We played 2 games during finals, and then after Christmas we had about 11-day layoff, and it was tough then to keep the guys motivated. So we'll give them a couple days off in there, and of course Sunday's our day off to go to church, and we got to be fresh for next week.
All right, thanks, Coach. We'll be back after this. This is the Lone Star Conference on FoxSportsSouthwest.com.
After visiting Incarnate Word, I decided that the coaching staff, the professors, and the atmosphere were all a great fit for me.
It's not often you get the opportunity to go over and play soccer in a different country, especially the United States.
I transferred to UIW after my first year because I felt like UIW gave me a better opportunity after I graduated college.
I hope to see you at the games this year. Go Cardinals.
Welcome back here in San Angelo, Texas. We'll talk about the Angelo State Rams, the home team tonight.
10-15 overall are the Rams, 3-2 in the LSC, tied for 8th right now with ACU. Key players, number 22, Keenan Coleman, 6'4", junior guard from Flint, Michigan, 15.5 points per game, third best in the LSC, 5.3 rebounds per game, 14th best in the LSC, and 28 steals, which leads the team. And then number 11, Java King Gilchrist, 6'2", junior guard from New Jersey, almost 11 points per game, 20th in the LSC in scoring, 3.5 assists per game, which leads the team, and 4.4 rebounds per game.
Well, I talked to head coach Fred Reich before the game here. This is the second time these two teams met this year. Here's what he had to say about the rematch with the Cardinals. All right, welcome back. I'm here with head coach Fred Reich of the Rams. Let's talk about your team so far this season.
Well, you know, we've struggled. We've been up and down. Had some injuries, but we're playing a lot better right now as a team and improved in some areas. And so this is a big game for us tonight.
Let's talk about your guys' previous game versus Incarnate Word. You guys lost over in their facility. Now you face them again. What kind of changes have you made against to face this team tonight?
Well, we really struggled, but that was, you know, right after Christmas, and we feel like we're a totally different team. That was about 6 weeks ago, but Incarnate Word's one of the better teams in our league right now, and our guys know that our backs are against the wall as far as the playoff implications of this game. So hopefully our guys will be ready.
Let's talk about some of your players. Who stands out for your guys' team?
Well, Keenan Coleman is having a great year for us, scoring the basketball. He's third in the league in scoring at about 15 points a game. Zach Jones has really emerged as probably our best post defender, and he's played well of late, and been really pleased with him. Java Gilchrist has been steady at the point for us. So those three guys, and Joey Lennox has shot the ball pretty good for us this year from three.
All right, keys for tonight's game for a victory over the Cardinals.
Well, Incarnate Word's a great team in transition, so we have to get back in transition defense is a must for us. And then hopefully just keep the ball out of the paint. They're very good off the dribble, and containing the bounce is a big for us tonight. So those two things are most important.
All right, thank you, Coach. We'll be back after this. This is the Lone Star Conference at FoxSportsSouthwest.com.
State University. Affordable, better, closer. With one of the lowest tuition and fee schedules in Texas, Angelo State is affordable for all. Recognized by the Princeton Review as one of the top 4 public universities in the state, ASU is better than you imagine. And Angelo State's central location in Texas makes it closer than you think. Enjoy the freedom to explore your interests, cultivate your talents, and shape your future at Angelo State University. From here, it's possible.
Welcome back here in San Angelo, Texas. Let's go through the starting lineups. Travis, for the visiting Cardinals.
Starting right there with the Cardinals, 21, Chris Johnson, 6'7", senior forward from San Antonio, Texas. Averages 14 a game and almost 8 rebounds. 32, Ian Markholz, 7-foot, junior center from San Antonio, Texas. Averages over 6 rebounds per game. Sean Ume, number 1, 6'3", senior guard from Houston, Texas. Leads the team in steals. He's a Jet. Number 2, Lindale Brown, 6-foot junior guard from San Antonio, 78 assists, leads the team in that category. And number 11, Denzel Livingston, 6'4", freshman guard from Houston, Texas, 7.4 points per game.
All right, now for the hometown Angelo State Rams.
Starting out for the Rams, number 5, LaDon Huckabee, 6'8", senior forward from Waco, Texas, averages over 10 a game and over 4 rebounds per game. Keenan Coleman, number 22, 6'4", junior guard from Flint, Michigan, leads the team in minutes and points. 44, Zach Jones, 6'8", sophomore forward from Brady, Texas. 24, Joey Lennox, 6'4", senior guard from Liberty Hill, Texas, averages over 7 a game. And Jave King-Gilchrist, 6'2", junior guard from New Jersey, leads the team in assists.
Keys to the game tonight, Travis, for both these teams.
Well, I really think it's about tempo for Incarnate Word. They like to get up and down, third in the LSC in scoring, and really needs to get to the free throw line and knock them down at a high percentage.
Second time these two teams have met before this season. Earlier, the Cardinals beat the Rams 92-51. In that game, Incarnate Word shot 65% in the field. So a very high percentage. You don't see that a whole lot, and that's kind of those games where pretty much anything that falls in drops down, and it's one of those nights where you just kind of just look past that game and go play another day.
That absolutely happens, and you're right. You've got to just get past it. You heard Coach Reich, different ball club 6 weeks ago, expecting a totally different outcome. And for the Rams tonight, they got to take great shots. They got to make them. They didn't shoot well in that first game. They knocked down a lot of threes. But I think they also need to protect the basketball. Incarnate Word, 14th in the nation in steals. Cardinals like to get up on you and pressure you.
Yeah, the overall record between these two teams, Angelo State wins that one 8-6 in all-time history. And the last victory came last season for the Rams on February 19th, 2011, with an overtime decision between these two teams. You'll have Angelo State in their white home uniforms, the Cardinals in their black jerseys.
Markoff jumping center for the Cardinals, 7-footer, and Huckabee for the Rams.
Markoff, you mentioned him, a transfer from the University of Wisconsin, a Big Ten player, playing for the Badgers.
And absolutely looks like one. I mean, he's physically imposing out here, and certainly will have an impact on this one, most likely.
Chris Johnson now inside to Markoff. Now he shoot a three, and that's off the rim, no good. Markoff nearly swatted back in. That one's up and in. Ume for two.
Ume is a guy that's been playing really well for him, leads him in steals, and that time got on the boards. But got to like that Markoff tipped it, kept it alive. Ume got it, 2-0 Cardinals.
Three-point attempt for Angelo State, no good. This will go back to the Cardinals with Linnell Brown taking it back. Livingston inside, now over to Johnson. Johnson driving in the lane, decides to pull back now. Ume. Now inside to Markoff. Markoff gets it in there.
Great pass in the flush by Markoff. Just a size advantage for the Cardinals. He's a 7-footer.
Foul call. And it's going to be against Markoff. And he was going in there for the dunk. All he had with his large wingspan, all he has to do is just stand up and just put the ball in.
He didn't have to jump real high, did he, Don? Got it to go, but coming back on the other end, picked up a foul with the body. And Angelo State at the line. Keenan Coleman having a tremendous season. Leads him in scoring, 15.5 per game. Most minutes played on the team.
That second one drops down. 4-1 is your score with the Cardinals on top of the Rams.
Lindell Brown handles it for the Cardinals. He runs the show.
Inside of Markoff. Now outside. The Cardinals working on that offense. And a traveling call going to be called against Chris Johnson.
They whistle Johnson on that one. Again, another guy that's had a tremendous year. 14 points per game, nearly 8 rebounds. Has played well for the Cardinals and has him in 4th place in the LSC and 9th in the South Central region.
Lennox with the ball. working the outside perimeter. Lindell Brown call for the foul.
A couple early fouls here by the Cardinals, and have been on a couple of blocks as we see a good move. Excuse me, that one was a reach. Coming off of a screen. Rams caught it. Reach by the Cardinals.
Zach Jones trying to make an attempt and it did not go in, and they'll go back to the Cardinals. Ume drives out, now gets it to Lindell Brown. Cross court to Livingston. Now inside of Johnson, he's trying to look for someone outside the perimeter. Instead, call for a traveling call.
Second straight on Johnson, 2 traveling calls, 2 turnovers.
So it'll go back to Angelo State. You see both teams with some miscues here early on. Coleman with the ball, gets it to Huckabee. Huckabee driving the lanes. Off the rim, pulled back down by Markov.
Good take by Huckabee, nice little floater. And I think a great shot to utilize because of the size inside for Incarnate Word. Floater can be very difficult to block.
Markov gets it inside to Johnson. He drops it down.
Great high-low action there by Markov and Johnson. Credit Markov with a great pass, and Johnson getting his man sealed. The easy 2 for the Cardinals.
Gilchrist gets over to Huckabee. Huckabee for 3 off the front iron. Pulled down by Markov, who has that clear size advantage.
Size advantage, you betcha. Transfer from Wisconsin, has been an impact player for the Cardinals.
Brown gets it over to Johnson. Johnson looking down to the baseline. Now gets it outside. And it'll go back to Livingston. 10 left in the shot clock. Off the back iron. Tip in, no good. Huckabee will pull it down.
Johnson kept it alive on the offensive glass. Couldn't get the tip in, though.
Quickly a 3-shot missed, and it'll go back to the Cardinals as they'll go to Ume.
And this is exactly the pace that the Cardinals want. They want this thing wide open, and Angelo State going to take a timeout here because of that.
Ume just left wide open down the lane. He had just had an easy shot down that way.
Yeah, absolutely, and it was because they got that fast break going. They ran the court. Rams struggle a little bit in the transition defensive game. They give up some points in that regard, and so an easy bucket there by the Cardinals.
Our 8-1 very early on. Still, we saw anything happen. You know, in the first game we've seen the Bengals get into a large lead over the Cardinals, and the Cardinals were able to pull back in this one. So you know anything could happen in basketball.
Well, absolutely anything can happen. It's a game of runs and adjustments, and so that's absolutely why Coach Reich called that timeout. He needed to make an adjustment with his team, and you know, credit Coach Reich. 3 consecutive trips to the LSC tournament and has had a regional tournament appearance. Done a heck of a job here building a strong program. Certainly knows how to coach his team.
Huckabee with the ball, and now they go back to Gilchrist. As they work that outside arc. Now drive into the lane. Huckabee off the backboard. Goes back to Cardinals, and it's taken back away. Ball's loose, and it'll stay with the Rams.
A great steal by Gilchrist, who's active. Bad outlet pass, though, by Johnson. Certainly not a good pass. Should have noticed that, but Gilchrist will get fouled there.
8-1, Cardinals on top of the Rams here in San Angelo, Texas. This is the Lone Star Conference on FoxSportsSouthwest.com.
Hoops Fix, February 29th through March 4th, when the Lone Star Conference Basketball Tournament lands at the Allen Event Center. 5 days, 14 games. It's one big wake-up basketball Lone Star style. Go to LoneStarConference.org for more info.
Welcome back here in San Angelo, Texas. And we're looking at stats so far. One clear stat on the Rams side is the goose egg.
0 for 6 from the field, 0 for 3 from downtown. Haven't taken a lot of great shots. It's led to some Incarnate Word points in transition. Sean Ume, 4 points leading the way for the Cardinals, but 3 turnovers for the Cardinals. So keep an eye on that stat.
Shot no good. And they'll go back to Liddell Brown as the Cardinals running a quick tempo offense. As they go back to Chris Johnson, Ume thought about a 3, pulls back, now drives in the lane, looks for someone open. Now they go outside that perimeter. Livingston with the ball with 15 left in the shot clock. Over to Johnson, now tap no good by Livingston. And the Rams will take back over. Foul going to be called on the shot. And it's going to be on Livingston.
As you see right there, Huckabee going to the rack hard, and he'll get to go to the free throw line here. 70% free throw shooter on the season is LaDon Huckabee.
That one drops down, and 5 minutes in the game, and all the points for the Rams coming from the charity stripe.
Absolutely right. Don Hughes checking in for the Rams. And for the Cardinals, number 10, Roddy.
That one drops down, so the 5-point advantage for the Cardinals. As it will be Liddell Brown holding on to it for the Cardinals. As the Ume will hold on to it. Over to Livingston. As they're holding it down here, taking their shot clock down. They'll take a 3-point attempt, and Ume with the 3-point bucket.
Sean Ume playing at a high level, 7 points. Coach Burmeister mentioned it in the pregame show. He's playing at a high level, and certainly on both ends.
Inside, that one drops off. And it'll go back to the Cardinals. And they'll go quickly cross court in transition. Ume holds on to it. Gets to the Brown. Brown drives in the lane. That one drops in.
Tough move. Certainly the Rams gave up a little bit of a dribble drive there, but credit Lindell Brown. Tough layup, going strong left.
A little bit of miscommunication there between a couple Rams, and nearly went back to the Cardinals, but it went out of bounds behind that baseline.
Coleman checks back in for the Rams. Leading scorer on the team. Needs to get something going here for the Rams, as he averages 15.5 per game.
Coleman with the ball. Now to Lennox. Lennox drives in the lane as they pull back and trying to find an open shot. With 10 left in the shot clock. Now Walling in the lane, misses it. And bailed out with 4 seconds on the shot clock. Got to make a shot, and that one drops in there.
Huckabee knocks down the 3, gets this Rams crowd into it a little bit, and the team back into it as well. Tough defense, though, that time by the Cardinals. A very good overall defensive possession. They just didn't finish with a rebound.
Markoff and the spin around misses off the backboard. Angelo State will take back over. Thought about taking another 3. Instead, they try to work off. Jumper is going to be called a foul.
Great move by Walling. Got his man up in the air. Shot fake, shot. As we see that right here, he goes right into the lane here. Jump stop, shot fake, up. Good move there by Walling.
Long will be at the line for the Rams. Knocks down the first one for the Stripe.
67% free throw shooter on the season. The freshman from right here at home, San Angelo, Texas.
That will drop in. It'll go back to a 5-point lead for the Cardinals. Cardinals with the ball, and it'll be Livingston driving the lane. That one drops down.
Another tough shot. Denzel Livingston. His first 2 of the night.
Huckabee with the jumper. That one drops down, so both teams dropping it down there.
Huckabee now with 7. Come on strong for the Rams.
Lume over to Markov now to Livingston. Now to Ward. And they worked outside perimeter. Now gets it inside to the big guy, Markov. Markov gets tripped off and gets called for the offensive foul as he fell on top of Huckabee.
That'll be his second foul for Markov. We've got that right here. Good position there by Markov, and just goes into it. And certainly part of basketball too is acting the part. And the Rams did a nice job of taking that charge.
Huckabee after that offensive foul. Looks like he might have tweaked his ankle. He's holding on to it, hobbling along that baseline.
5 early fouls here for the Cardinals, none for the Rams.
He'll play on. With his team trailing 10 to 15, and that one drops down as the Rams, they started off cold, shooting over. They trail by 3 now.
Coleman, such a smooth game. A great take there, pulled up, knocked it down, and Rams are right back in this one.
Johnson for 3. That one drops down. So it's a 6-point lead for the Cardinals over the Rams.
5 points here by Chris Johnson, and just a good all-around player. Can hit the outside shot and gets to the basket very well. Tough matchup. Really a nightmare.
Nixon Hughes off the front iron. Ball's loose and scrambled the ball. Good job by Coleman. Now it's loose again, and we're going to have a whistle called. As that one, possession arrow is pointing in which direction, but a whistle will be on the floor. We'll take a timeout. 18-12 with the Cardinals on top of the Rams here in San Angelo, Texas. This is the Lone Star Conference on FoxSportsSouthwest.com.
Hey LSC fans, it's free food, free games, free fun. 2012 Lone Star Conference Fan Fest, followed by 2 men's basketball games at 6 and 8:30. For more information, go to LoneStarConference.org.
Welcome back here in San Angelo, Texas. 18-12 with the Cardinals on top of the Rams. Looking at the stats sheet from the field. Incarnate Word has the advantage, 67% compared to 23% for the Rams. But you look at the free throws on the Rams side.
Rams 5 of 6 getting in the line and knocking them down. Also looking at the foul situation, Incarnate Word already with 5. Only 1 foul on the Rams.
One too many passes for the Rams, and he turned the ball over back to the Cardinals.
Turnover battle right now, Cardinals 4, Rams 2.
Johnson drives in the lane, draws the foul. And he will go to the line.
He's just a tough matchup. Very difficult matchup. Can put the ball on the deck, can hit the outside shot, has got the ability to post players up. He's 6'7", senior, playing at a high level here as we kind of wind down the conference season, prepare for the Lone Star Conference tournament, which will take place in Allen, Texas, February 29th through March 4th.
That one drops down, and for the Cardinals, this is the last regular season game here before the tournament, and that's a long stretch to go through.
They caught the bye at the end of the season, and obviously difficult to schedule a non-conference game at that point in time, and so take the week off. Might not be the worst thing, but on the other side, they're playing really well. They're playing good basketball right now, and so you hate to take time off, but certainly Coach Burmeister will have this team ready to compete in Allen.
Shot is good from Lindell Brown. 9-point lead for the Cardinals. 23-14 is your score.
4 points here for Brown in this first half, approaching the midway point.
A foul called, and it's going to be on Darryl Ward. That'll be 6 fouls for the Cardinals already.
Already 6 fouls, and next one will mean bonus. And as you mentioned earlier, the Rams have shot well, 5 of 6 from the free throw line already today.
Coleman into the lane. That one nearly goes in. Unfortunately, it drops back out, but his teammate Nixon Hughes bails him out. The ball's loose on the floor. Whistle going to be called. It's going to be a traveling call on Rawls.
Got him shuffling his feet there a little bit. I really liked the inbounds play there by the Rams. They got it to Coleman with a cleared out left side, let him go to work. He didn't finish the play, but certainly your leading scorer, and that's obviously where you want the basketball. He made a great move, just didn't finish it.
Southworth with the ball, gets it over to Ward. Back to Southworth, will drive in the lane, gets it back to Brown. Brown with a jumper, that one. XV bounces off the rim and taken back to the Rams.
Brown really has great lift in his jump shot. Don't always see that a lot from outside perimeter type shooters, but he's got great lift.
Nixon Hughes with the and one after that shot.
Hughes averages over 10.5 a game. He's got that right there. Good strong move, went up, got fouled from behind.
Zach Jones will check in for Huckabee. As Nixon Hughes will go up to the line.
75% free throw shooter on the season. Completes the three-point play.
Takes it back to a 5-point Cardinal lead.
Hughes with 5 points on the evening.
Cardinals go with a smaller lineup. They shoot the 3 off the back iron. As the ball's loose on the court, they're going to call a traveling call on the Rams. I've seen a lot of traveling calls tonight.
Really it's been a trend in all of our broadcasts that we've done. We've noticed a number of traveling calls. The officiating crews are right on it. You move that pivot foot, you take that extra step, they're gonna get you every time.
Carl's working at perimeter with Brown. Now they go all the way across court to Ward. Ward driving the lane, gets it back to Brown. Brown down the baseline. Now 3-point shot, no good. Pulled down by Coleman.
The Rams have tightened things up defensively, and it helps when they can defend in the half-court set. Transition defense has been spotty at times tonight.
Nixon Hughes gets it over to Walling. He misses the 3-point shot, and now quickly across court, Lindell Brown. Lindell Brown with a jumper goes coast to coast.
Well, that's what happens when you miss an outside shot. You're going to get that long rebound. It's going to be a push for the Cardinals, and Lindell Brown. 6 points here in the early going for the Cardinals.
Coleman with a tough jumper. Counts for 2. Makes it a 6-point ball game.
5 points for Coleman.
Lume inside to Roddy. Riley with a spin around jumper. No. Pulled back down by Ume. Now gets it inside. Arati again. Tip in, no good. Scrambled the ball. It goes back to Angelo State. Coleman with his shot out the front iron. Rawls quickly with it. Keeps it within with the Rams.
Good hustle by the Rams to keep it. Maybe wasn't the best shot on that transition, but kept it alive and got the 2 anyway.
Nixon Hughes with the spin around jumper. Cuts it down on a 4-point Cardinal lead.
And Hughes now with 7 points.
3-point tap, no good again, as the Cardinals trying to work that outside perimeter and try to make it rain from downtown, and have not been able to do that so far. And have the Rams in each possession have been sinking down a 2-point shot and been taking away this lead. As we see another shot here off the back board, and it'll go back to the Cardinals.
Want to be extremely efficient offensively. You want to make the most out of every possession, and Rams didn't do it that time.
Another 3-point attempt for the Cardinals, so that's about 3 straight possessions. They tried making it rain from downtown.
You know, certainly with Markov out, don't have a tremendous inside presence. It turns into, you know, pretty much a perimeter-oriented team, and so they'll take some outside shots. They want to push the tempo.
Turnover, ball's loose. It goes back to the Cardinals. Brown drives it down there. Ball's stripped away. Goes to Ume. Ume now drives in the lane. That one drops down.
Tough left by Sean Ume. 7 or 9 points now for him.
We've seen some crazy possessions here in this game tonight.
Again, you want to be solid with the basketball. You want to take good shots. If you don't have one, shot fake or kick it out. And the last couple of possessions haven't been great for the Rams. Before that, the Cardinals struggled. Took some outside shots and weren't finding the range.
A foul going to be called. And we'll take a timeout. 27-21 is your score with the Cardinals on top of the Rams here in San Angelo, Texas. This is the Lone Star Conference on FoxSportsSouthwest.com.
I'd like to thank the following corporate partners. Firestone, we keep your car running newer, longer. 3 shops, 1 stop, maintenance, repairs, and tires. AccuConference, providing conference calling for the Lone Star Conference. Shut Sports, official softball helmet of the Lone Star Conference. Alpha Graphics, providing printing solutions for the Lone Star Conference. My Sports Streams, providing fundraising solutions for Lone Star Conference member institutions. Bravo Health, community engagement partner of the Lone Star Conference. Adidas, official supplier of the Lone Star Conference. Jostens, official ring provider of the Lone Star Conference. Wilson, the official basketball of the LSC. In the Lone Star Conference, we're committed to respect, integrity, tradition, community, and academic excellence. Lone Star Conference, we're the one. Fans, don't forget to like the Lone Star Conference on Facebook. It's the best way to stay connected to all the latest information from around the league and join the conversation with other LSC fans. For an easy way to follow the latest happenings in the Lone Star Conference, be sure to follow the LSC on Twitter. Get scoring updates, event reminders, and breaking news when you follow the Lone Star Conference on Twitter.
Welcome back as the Cardinals lead the Rams here in San Angelo, Texas. Sean Ume leads the Cardinals with 9 points, followed by Chris Johnson with 8. LaDon Huckabee with 7 points for the Rams, followed by Hanif Nixon Hughes with 7 points for the Rams, and he will be at the line right now.
He's provided some great energy here for the Rams. Averages over 10.5 a game. 75% from the free throw line. You know, the thing with Hughes is he gets to the basket really well. Doesn't shoot extremely well from the outside. He knows that and makes the most out of his opportunities offensively. 9 points on the evening for him.
One big key stat so far is the Rams from the line, 9 for 8. As they trail by 4 to the Cardinals, and a shot is good from Sunbury. They bring it back to a 6-point Cardinal lead.
You're absolutely right. The foul situation has certainly played into Angelo State's favor. They've attacked the basket and done a nice job, and they got Markov in early foul trouble for the Cardinals, who's had to sit out most of this first half.
Livingston holds on to it. Good to the Ume. Yeah, kick ball, and we'll go back to the Cardinals.
Got the kick on Huckabee down there. Cardinals will inbounds.
It'll be Liddell Brown. Over to Ume. Outside to Livingston. Livingston will drive out. Now gets to Ume. Ume for three. Off the iron. Gilchrist will take it. Lennox over outside. Now to Huckabee. Huckabee looking for one of his other teammates from here on the Rams. Instead, Nixon Hughes with another two.
11 points for Hughes. Good offense, motion offense there by Angelo State. Had some good back cuts. You know, really took their time, got a good possession, and led to two for them.
Cross court shot to Ume. Now as they go inside.
Good pass from Ume to Brown. A nice cut by Lindell Brown into the middle of the lane.
So he'll go up to the line.
Brown shoots 65% from the free throw line. Averages about 8 a game. Leads the team in assists. Already has 6 tonight. Make it 7.
He called off the shot. So he'll be shooting 2. This is actually the second time tonight we've seen Incarnate Word at the line.
The Rams have done a good job defensively. Haven't fouled. Tightened it up after giving up some early buckets. And Cardinals knocked that free throw down. 8 points now for Brown.
And Gilchrist will hold on to it for the Rams. Now Lennox back to Huckabee. Now King Gilchrist will lose the ball as he tried to drive in the lane. Goes back to the Cardinals.
Tried to do a little too much, too deep in the lane, and the same thing happened on the other end. Turnover by Brown.
So it'll be the Rams ball when we come back. 31-25 is your score here in San Angelo, Texas. This is the Lone Star Conference on FoxSportsSouthwest.com. Welcome back here in San Angelo, Texas, as the first men's basketball regional rankings are out, and you see a couple teams from the Lone Star Conference sitting on top of the standings.
Tarleton Midwestern State right there, 1-2. They've had a number of battles the last couple years, and including this season, and I imagine we might get another one. And then West Texas A&M at 8, Incarnate Word at 9, and Cameron University, I think, has got to be close, knocking on the door. And, of course, next Saturday, we'll have West Texas A&M at Cameron University. Should be a great matchup.
Shot off the front iron, no good, and that will go back to the Cardinals. To Liddell Brown. Cardinals working that outside arc. Now they try to shoot it from downtown again. That one off, no good. As the Cardinals are 2 for 10.
Livingston couldn't knock that one down. They've gotten to be a very perimeter-oriented team since Markov went out. The 7-footer got 2 fouls early.
And whistle called.
Good interior pass there and gets the body. And they'll have 24 Sunbury with the foul. Got the block. And we'll put Hughes the line, who's had some great minutes tonight for the Rams. 11 points, couldn't convert on that free throw. 75% on the season.
Second missed free throw tonight for the Rams. That one drops down, so it'll be back to a 5-point Cardinal lead. Here in the beautiful Janelle Center.
Great facility. Certainly glad to be here as part of Play for K night here. Lots of pink in the stands. Both programs, men's, women's, all across the board have gotten involved in it, and certainly a great cause in researching breast cancer and trying to find a cure.
Shot is blocked from Huckabee. Remain Cardinal ball. 21 seconds left on that shot clock. For the Rams, they've been having a hard time getting within 5 in this game. Trailing out of the gates. Spin around jumper, no good. Lands in the hands of King Gilchrist.
Tough look that time by Chris Johnson for the Cardinals. I don't think he had a great look. Maybe take that out and continue good ball rotation.
Fouls call as the Rams are in the bonus, so they'll go to the line.
Now double bonus for the Rams. Those fouls piling up for the Cardinals.
Their opportunities at the cherry stripe is what's keeping the Rams in this game right now.
It was one of our keys in the pregame was get to the free throw line, and knock them down. And they've been a good free throw shooting team this season. And tonight they continue that, and you're absolutely right. It's kept them right into this basketball game.
That one drops down, and
Zach Jones is back.
Almost half their points it came from the stripe.
First 2 for Gilchrist on the evening. Came right there at the line.
So it's within 3 for the Rams. But the closest this game has been since the tip. That one no good as the Cardinals just completely cold as that one ricocheted off of Roddy into the second row of the stands, but the ball will remain with the Cardinals. Livingston hands it for him, and we'll get it to Roddy. Johnson pushed in the lane, and it's going to be a foul called.
And Incarnate Word has been intentional about getting it inside to Johnson the last couple of possessions to get some looks in the paint. As we see this replay goes, just a little too much bumping action as Johnson was kind of backing his man down there. They're going to get it into him again. This time they get him with the offensive foul.
Well, that one will go back to Angelo State.
Second foul on Johnson. He'll likely have to sit the rest of the half. And so both interior players for the Cardinals with 2 fouls in the first half. As you see Johnson go to the bench and Markoff as well, who really started out the game well. And since then, the Cardinals haven't gotten much inside.
If you're head coach Fred Reich, you have to like what you've seen so far. You're not shooting the best from the field, but you're still in this game after you lost by over 40 points in San Antonio earlier this season to these Cardinals.
Certainly I believe Coach Reich thinks they can play better, but I think he would be happy with it if you talk about the statistics and you go into halftime with the score that it is right now. I think he'd be happy with it, make some adjustments, and be ready for the second half.
Nice job by Huckaway with the block, and they'll try taking a 3 for the tie. That one off the rim. There's neither team getting it done from downtown tonight.
Lennox couldn't knock that one down. 36% three-point shooter, one of the best. And on the other end, an and one.
Basket counts.
Ume puts himself in double figures with 11 points with an opportunity to make it 12 here.
He's right at his season average as you see him attack the basket strong. tough player to defend. Lefty. Don't see a ton of lefty players. He's quick and has been able to knock down some jumpers as well. 12 points now for Sean Ume.
Low-scoring game here against Angelo. Huckabee with the spin-around jumper, taken back by the Cardinals and Liddell Brown.
So yeah, Brown and Ume, dynamic backcourt for the Cardinals. They really get up and down the floor.
Livingston drops it down there as Lewis Coleman and Angelo State have kept it in this game, and now suddenly a couple fast break shots, and now they trail by 8.
That's why against this team, against this Cardinal team, you've got to value every possession. They've got such spurt ability. They can go on runs pretty quickly if you're not careful.
That one, a 3-point shot, and they're going to get timeout called on the floor with 20 seconds left on the clock.
And Joey Lennox knocked that one down. 36% from downtown on the season. Somebody you want to stay out on. Don't want to give him any open looks.
So the shot clock will be turned off, and the Cardinals will have the ball. So Angelo State talking defensive strategy, and the Cardinals are talking about what kind of shot they want to make here with limited time.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, when you think of the Cardinals in this first half, it's been Sean Ume. You know, he's played tremendous. A tough left-handed player. Has gotten into the lane, has knocked down some jumpers. I would expect to see something with him. Of course, your leading scorer, Chris Johnson, on the bench with 2 fouls. He's not an option here. And then, of course, Lindell Brown running the show, leads the team in assists. And look for him to maybe create something for others.
We'll see what the Cardinals do. With 15 seconds left on the clock, they'll hold on to it and trying to look for that last open look. Well, Liddell Brown will hold on to it. 5 seconds left. He'll drive in the lane, gets it over to Livingston. Livingston will get a foul called on Angelo State with 0.9 seconds left on the clock.
Officiating crew getting together, trying to decide if it was on the ground. In my opinion, it was on the ground. It was not a shooting foul.
So, with the Cardinals not in the bonus, they'll have to inbound it at least.
Second foul on Lennox for the Rams.
You have 0.9 seconds left on the clock, so you got to look for a quick inbound and a tip in. Ball swatted away by Huckabee. That's how we end the half. 36-31 is your score with the Cardinals on top of the Rams here in San Angelo, Texas. This is the Lone Star Conference on FoxSportsSouthwest.com.
Partners. Firestone, we keep your car running newer, longer. 3 shops, 1 stop, maintenance, repairs, and tires. AccuConference, providing conference calling for the Lone Star Conference. Shut Sports, official softball helmet of the Lone Star Conference. Alpha Graphics, providing printing solutions for the Lone Star Conference. My Sports Streams, providing fundraising solutions for Lone Star Conference member institutions. Bravo Health, community engagement partner of the Lone Star Conference. Adidas, official supplier of the Lone Star Conference. Jostens, official ring provider of the Lone Star Conference. Wilson, the official basketball of the LSC. In the Lone Star Conference, we're committed to respect, integrity, tradition, community, and academic excellence. Lone Star Conference, we're the one. Fans, don't forget to like the Lone Star Conference on Facebook. It's the best way to stay connected to all the latest information from around the league and join the conversation with other LSC fans. For an easy way to follow the latest happenings in the Lone Star Conference, be sure to follow the LSC on Twitter. Get scoring updates, event reminders, and breaking news when you follow Lone Star
Angelo
Conference on
State
Twitter.
University. Affordable, better, closer. With one of the lowest tuition and fee schedules in Texas, Angelo State is affordable for all. Recognized by the Princeton Review as one of the top 4 public universities in the state, ASU is better than you imagine. And Angelo State's central location in Texas makes it closer than you think. Enjoy the freedom to explore your interests, cultivate your talents, and shape your future at Angelo State University. From here, it's possible.
After visiting Incarnate Word, I decided that the coaching staff, the professors, and the atmosphere were all a great fit for me.
It's not often you get the opportunity to go over and play soccer in a different country, especially the United States.
I transferred to UIW after my first year because I felt like UIW gave me a better opportunity after I graduated college.
I hope to see you at the games this year. Go Cardinals.
Lone Star Conference on FoxSportsSouthwest.com, joined by Angelo State University President Dr. Rallo. Thanks so much for joining us.
Pleasure.
Obviously, one of the Lone Star Conference values, community. Do a great job here in an exciting event tonight.
Well, it is. This is, obviously a basketball game. We're hoping the women will get into the Lone Star Finals. The men's have had a sort of a rough season, but it's still a great community event here. We get people from all over. This becomes sort of a venue for them on a Saturday night. It's great to see the spirit.
Absolutely. And we've been so impressed with our visit here. What's new? What's happening on campus?
Well, a lot of new things. We've opened 2 new residence halls that I'm really proud of the fact that they're LEED certified gold. You know how tough it is for rain around here. And so the entire roof is a capture basin. So if we get a decent rain like today, it fills 40,000 gallon tanks. We don't have to buy water from the city to water the lawns. So it's a great way of showing sustainability and also having the students think about a campus as a learning environment for the future.
Absolutely, that's outstanding. And in your mind, future for Angelo State University and the Lone Star Conference?
Well, we're very proud to be part of the conference. I chaired the President's Committee 2 years ago, and we really asked to start a strategic marketing plan so that we're marketing the Lone Star Conference as opposed to the individual teams. And I think Commissioner Stan Wagner has done a great job. We're going to be up in Allen, Texas. We'll have the game in Dallas. And then just this event tonight is a great example because we have a great number of teams. We just need to get marketed better. I think we're on our way.
Absolutely. Well, thanks a lot for joining
My
us.
pleasure.
This is the LSC on FoxSportsSouthwest.com.
Good? All right, have a good
Thank you so much. Good to see you.
I think tradition is essential to the lifeblood of any institution and any athletic department. When you consider tradition, that's really the one thing. It speaks excellence. It speaks things that are very important to the people who have come through and laid the groundwork for your programs in the past. And it's really the one element that really ties people together and ties just the element of success and excellence to those that are in the program now.
Commitment to me is exercising discipline in your endeavors, whether it's academically, athletically, in my position and role as an assistant athletic director or whatever. And the discipline side of it is, in my mind, is doing what needs to be done the way it needs to be done every time.
Integrity in athletics should be a reflection of the value that we place on integrity within the entire institution. Integrity is really the bedrock. It's the foundation upon which everything else we do is built. The thing that I stress to our students especially is not only the reality of integrity, but the perception of integrity. Yeah, it's important to do the right thing. It's important to do the right thing for the right reason. But it's also important for other people to know that you're doing the right thing.
Academic excellence is every student athlete having success in the classroom so that they have an opportunity to get a marketable degree to advance in life as they leave the university.
You know, when you talk about a bridge, building between the community and Tarleton, I think that we have more than a bridge. I think we have a 4-lane highway right now because we have so much interaction between our community. They have a ownership in Tarleton State University. They feel like they are so welcomed here. They feel like they are a part of this university. And when you can build that special relationship between university and community, I think you have something that is a win-win situation. I think it's something that you can really build on.
I think respect is very important in your team, and within your team you have to respect each other as players and respect your coaching staff. And we talk about a lot that respect comes down to the golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Look each other in the eye when they're talking. Body language, always have positive body language. So respect is essential in order to have a good team and a good program.
My name is Stan Wagner, Commissioner of the Lone Star Conference. Our mission in the Lone Star Conference is to foster student participation and success among member institutions in Division II athletics as a part of the total educational program on each campus. We're committed to developing student athletes and preparing them for life ahead, and we're doing that with particular emphasis on integrity and tradition, academic excellence, respect, community, and commitment. These 6 organizational values have made the Lone Star Conference what it is, and they will continue to shape our future success on the playing field, in the classroom, and in the community. Our actions should be guided by these values. Our decisions should be based on these values, and our story should be told using these values as our guide. The Lone Star Conference is unlike any other. It's unique. We have a proud past and an even brighter future. It's time we embrace our heritage. It's time we celebrate our strengths, and it's time we emphasize the values that help to define who we are as a group.
The LSC would like to thank the following corporate partners. Firestone, we keep your car running newer, longer. 3 shops, 1 stop, maintenance, repairs, and tires. AccuConference, providing conference calling for the Lone Star Conference. Shut Sports, official softball helmet of the Lone Star Conference. Alpha Graphics, providing printing solutions for the Lone Star Conference. My Sports Streams, providing fundraising solutions for Lone Star Conference member institutions. Bravo Health, community engagement partner of the Lone Star Conference. Adidas, official supplier of the Lone Star Conference. Jostens, official ring provider of the Lone Star Conference. Wilson, the official basketball of the LSC. In the Lone Star Conference, we're committed to respect, integrity, tradition, community, and academic excellence. Lone Star Conference, we're the one. Fans, don't forget to like the Lone Star Conference on Facebook. It's the best way to stay connected to all the latest information from around the league and join the conversation with other LSC fans. For an easy way to follow the latest happenings in the Lone Star Conference, be sure to follow the LSC on Twitter. Get scoring updates, event reminders, and breaking news when you follow the Lone Star Conference on Twitter. Hey LSC fans, it's free food, free games, free fun. 2012 Lone Star Conference Fan Fest, followed by 2 men's basketball games at 6 and 8:30. For more information, go to lonestarconference.org.
We strive for academic excellence. We believe in engaging our community. We're proud of our tradition. We exemplify respect on and off the field. We conduct ourselves with integrity, and we're committed to being the best. That's why we're the one. Lone Star Conference, we're the one.
Welcome back here in San Angelo, Texas, halftime with the Rams trailing the Cardinals 31-36. What has stood out to you here in the first half so far?
Well, the first thing, Angelo State getting to the free throw line, 11 of 13, and they knocked them down. Hanif Nixon-Hughes led them with 12.6 rebounds. You know, in my opinion, Angelo State can play better. They're in it. It's a close game right now, down 5. But I think they feel fortunate because they shot at only 30%. When you look, flip the coin, you look at the Cardinals, 45% from the field goal. Sean Ume, 12 points. It was really that dynamic backcourt for the Cardinals in the first half because Lindell Brown had 8 points, 4 assists, and 5 rebounds. Did a great job distributing the basketball and running the offense.
Leading scorer for the Cardinals is Sean Ume with 12 points. Leading scorer for the Rams is Hanif Nixon-Hughes with 12 points as well, and both teams spreading the ball fairly evenly with points. As you look at some of the finals we've gotten so far, a couple interesting finals. I told you one over the break. This was another one that kind of was a little bit of a shocker for me. Commerce defeats Eastern New Mexico in overtime, 67-62, and the other one was West Texas defeating Tarleton, who's one of the top 10 teams in the country right now, number 1 in the region as well. You know, we look at those regional rankings. We'll go back to that after this. That final score was 62-53. So Tarleton sitting at number 1 right now in the regional, and West Texas at number 8.
You know, and probably didn't. You know, Tarleton comes in number 1. May or may not have been affected by that loss Monday night. That might not be taken into account. So Tarleton now lost twice on the week. Lost to Midwestern State in a triple overtime game, and then West Texas tonight. That just shows you the parity in the league.
Well, Incarnate Word sitting at number 9. They needed some help from West Texas, at least some teams in front of them. You know, they only lead by 5. And, you know, you look at the strength of scheduling, and, you know, Angelo State, not the strongest team in the conference, but, you know, with an opportunity to be able to play their way into the tournament coming here in a couple of weeks. But, you know, a possible loss against them probably would hurt them heading in down this stretch, make at least squeak into that regional tournament.
Absolutely, it would hurt them. And of course, for Angelo State, they're playing for everything. They're playing for their season, trying to get in. They're tied for that 8th spot with ACU coming into tonight. They want to be in Allen. They absolutely want to be there. And Coach Reich will make the adjustments at halftime and get them going here as we're about ready to start it up. But good first half. You know, I think both teams believe that they can play better in the second half, and we'll see it right here.
For the Cardinals, it's Ume, Brown, Livingston, Johnson, Markoff, and for the Rams, it's Huckabee, Gilcrease, King, Coleman, Lennox, and Jones on the floor right now to start the second half.
And Markoff went out early in the first half with 2 fouls. I thought really hurt the Cardinals. Great inside presence for them. They didn't really get many touches inside, and they go right to him. Didn't knock it down, but I still like the intentional pass in there to try to score inside.
Coleman tries going coast to coast, doesn't make the shot. Zach Jones pulls out the rebound. And a foul call. He tried to get his own rebound and make the shot. And he'll go to the line. We talked about the Cardinals giving the Rams plenty of opportunities at the line, and they shot 11 points in the first half on the stripe. And, you know, when 1/3 of your points are coming from the line, as that one drops in there, at least gives a team that's not shooting so good, which is like the Rams are doing right now at 30%, an opportunity to stay in this game.
Yeah, that's been a huge factor in this one, and just too many fouls by the Cardinals, not doing a good job defensively. You know, you've got to get down in a defensive stance and guard and stay down. Don't try to jump and block shots and all the things. Just do the little things fundamentally.
Livingston has it, tries to go inside to Johnson, decides instead to go to Brown. Brown getting double teamed as they work that outside perimeter with Livingston trying to push inside. Now gets it to Markov. Markov now got it to Johnson, and a whistle called.
And see, Markov just he does a lot for this team, draws a lot of attention, got the double team, as you see here, had good position. Angelo State forced the double team. Great pass over to Chris Johnson, who had the dunk opportunity, got fouled. Dunk didn't go in, but will go to the line for 2.
Hard to miss Markov, is 7 foot tall and by far has a couple inches on all these players on the court.
Huge advantage for the Cardinals, and they, again, didn't have that the majority of the first half. Johnson, an 80% free throw shooter on the season, leading scorer on the team, and has 9 tonight.
Misses the second shot from the line, as that was, the only, probably the 4th opportunity tonight from the line. As a 3-point attempt off the back iron, Markov easily pulls it down.
He's a force in the paint, and certainly a weapon for the Cardinals.
Turnover for the Cardinals, and quickly across court.
Not a good look, and also Johnson on the inside didn't establish his position.
Gilchrist King tried to work around Markov, and all he has to do is stick his hands up in the air.
So big. It's tough to get a shot off in there when he's down low.
And instead it's going to be called a jump ball. And it's going to will remain with Incarnate Word.
Inadvertent whistle, jump ball is called.
Inadvertent whistle
goes to Incarnate Word
by the officiating crew, and Incarnate Word will take it, but it'll cost him a jump. So the arrow next time will go to Angelo State University.
Livingston gets it to Markov. Markov's pass is taken away by the Rams. Inside, and King Gilchrist throws up high enough to get over Markov's hands and drops down to 2.
Tough move there. But looking back at the last couple of possessions for the Cardinals, sloppy passing has led to turnovers, and the Rams have capitalized.
Whistle called.
Fouls on 44,
Zach Jones calls the foul.
Markov establishing good position again. And the Cardinals have utilized him early in the second half. They've been intentional about getting the ball inside. It's paid off for them.
Out-of-bounds to the Rams.
Pass from Livingston to Johnson.
3 straight turnovers by the Cardinals, just not thinking the game, not being solid with the basketball, making some sloppy passes and decisions.
Head coach Ken Burmeister getting pretty loud with his team, trying to motivate them to.
He's created a good program, 5 years at Incarnate Word, 5 winning seasons. He's a winner. 14 seasons as an assistant, and has had great stops. You talk about UT Arlington, you talk about Iowa, Arizona, DePaul, big name schools that he's been at and done a great job.
And you talk about a few of those teams. Arizona always in the mix. DePaul right now doing some big time things in Division I in college basketball. That one sinks in there, and the Rams take the lead. First time the Rams have led in this game.
Huckabee knocks down the 3, and certainly the Rams needed to shoot a little better. You figured they would. Those things come with time. Continue to get good ball movement and take good looks, they'll fall.
That one, a foul call, and it's going to go against the Rams.
Fans didn't like the call. I thought a little bit slow on the rotation. Right idea for the Rams. Close call. Official could have thought he was also in that arc, which if you're inside the arc, new rule this year, it's a block automatically. Kind of that NBA type rule.
So it'll be Chris Johnson at the line. Johnson with 9 points. That'll tie the ball game. And, you know, pregame I talked to head coach Fred Reinke, and, you know, the Cardinals took it to the Rams in San Antonio, and he said this was a different team.
Absolutely. You know, 6 weeks ago, it was, you know, around that Christmas break time, and it just feels like he's got a much different ball club, and, you know, obviously they're proving that tonight.
That one off the front iron. That one will be pulled down by the Cardinals. Tied ball game, 38 apiece. In the second half, another whistle and one.
You know, that's the tough thing about, I thought a little bit of a quick shot by the Rams last time, and it led to offensively for the Cardinals getting into transition where they really excelled. The Rams have struggled transition defense, and Cardinals go to line there after the N1.
So in the first half, the Rams had the opportunities from the charity stripe. This time, the Cardinals do early on here in the second half.
Gilchrist at the line, 6 points. Already tonight looking for point number 7 for the Cardinals.
Rams committing 4 fouls here in the first 4 minutes of the second half.
Pretty much the opposite of what we saw in the first half. Cardinals were in a lot of foul trouble and early, and this time it's the Rams.
Nixon Hughes holds on to it. Moves over to Walling. Back to Hughes. As the Rams looking for an open shot with the shot clock running down. Long three-point attempt off the back iron. Pulled down by Markov.
Not really efficient offense that time for the Rams, and again, it's going to give Incarnate Word a little bit of a chance to run here, and that's really their forte. They like to do it.
Johnson drops down to 2. It's a 5-point lead again for the Cardinals.
And really, when you've seen the Cardinals go on their spurts and their runs, it's because they get defensive stops, get the rebound, and they get out and go, and they score in transition.
Jumper for Walling, no good, and it will be back to the Cardinals as the last few possessions for Angelo State not going too well as they not converting on their possessions.
And Chris Johnson pulled that rebound down. Now they go inside to Markov.
Markov loses the ball. Opportunity for Angelo State. Inside slap down, rejected by the Cardinals.
Heck of a pass and an even better defensive play. Gilchrist came out of nowhere to block that one.
That's probably one of the most unusual shots right there, as that one looked like it was going to go inside and instead hooks onto the rim, and that's how we'll head into the timeout. 5-point lead for the Cardinals over the Rams. This is the Lone Star Conference on FoxSportsSouthwest.com.
Angelo State University. Affordable, better, closer. With one of the lowest tuition and fee schedules in Texas, Angelo State is affordable for all. Recognized by the Princeton Review as one of the top 4 public universities in the state, ASU is better than you imagine. And Angelo State's central location in Texas makes it closer than you think. Enjoy the freedom to explore your interests, cultivate your talents, and shape your future at Angelo State University. From here, it's possible.
Get your hoops fix February 29th through March 4th when the Lone Star Conference Basketball Tournament lands at the Allen Event Center. 5 days, 14 games. It's one big wake-up basketball Lone Star style. Go to LoneStarConference.org for more info.
Welcome back here in San Angelo, Texas. 43-38 is your score with the Incarnate Word on top of Angelo State here in the second half. You know, what I find interesting is how close this game is still, even though the Rams are shooting 26% from the field and Incarnate Word, you know, shooting 46% from the field.
Yeah, and you got to look at some of the other stat categories. Rams leading the rebounding category. You know, the Cardinals turning the ball over, 10 turnovers, and then the free throw matchup. Rams have been there 15 times, knocked down 13 of them. And so it's all led to this becoming a close game. I think we're in for a great one here as we move down the stretch.
Ken Gilchrist drives in the lane, gets over the Nixon Hughes.
Great
Wow.
penetration by Gilchrist there, and Nixon Hughes, who had a big first half for the Rams, will get to go to the line as we see this penetration. Comes off this high screen, gets there. Markoff stepped over, kind of went around him with that pass and got it inside.
That one off the back iron.
Hughes with 12 points on the evening, 75% free throw shooter.
Second shot spins it around and is up to now. The Rams have been lights out from the charity stripe. He misses the last two and will remain a 5-point Cardinal lead. Lume over to Markoff. Markoff getting double teamed and the ball gets loose. And Chris Johnson able to hold on. This time Markoff. Easy shot.
Not much you can do about that. I mean, it's tough to guard. He extends that little hook. I mean, it's virtually unblockable, and he's already got 4 or 5 inches on the next biggest player from the Rams.
It's really hard to practice against a guy or get ready for a game where you know you have a big guy like Markoff.
Absolutely. It's tough, and even tougher when you get to the game because, you know, it's one thing to go against the scout team and, you know, a guy that might be close to his size. But, you know, certainly looking at the Rams bench, they don't have anybody close to 7 feet tall. So it's tough to simulate that, as you mentioned, and it's even more difficult when you get to the game.
Well, the only thing I think of is the old-fashioned broomstick and holding underneath the post.
Yeah, and, you know, he's altered some shots inside. He's pulled down rebounds, and he's obviously been a weapon offensively, too.
Markoff's pass intended to Johnson. Turns the ball over.
Him and Johnson love to run that high-low, and Markoff is so tall he can easily look inside.
Huckabee sinks the three, so it brings it back to a 4-point ball game.
Huckabee's played well, 13 points tonight, and Coach Burmeister said this Angelo State team can really shoot the three. We got to get out on them, and you know, they didn't shoot great in the first half, but they're coming around.
Johnson's shot is air ball. It'll go back to Angelo State. Couple passes as rejected, balls tipped off, and Markoff with his size swats it back down to Livingston as they'll go quickly across court. And Liddell Brown took too many steps and went out of bounds.
Just one too many passes on that fast break. And Incarnate Word has been so good in transition tonight, and that time it wasn't one of their best. Just got a little too deep. Did Livingston and tried to make one too many passes to, as you mentioned, Brown, who was out of bounds. Haven't heard a lot from Sean Ume. First half had 12 points, was 5 of 5 from the field. He's been a little bit quiet here in the second half.
King Gilchrist sinks down to 2. So brings it back down to a 2-point lead for the Cardinals.
Rams starting to heat up a little bit more offensively, and you knew that they probably would, because they've had some good shots, they've had some good looks, they just haven't all gone down.
Brown with the ball with 15 seconds left in the shot clock will call the play. Now he'll take the shot himself off the back iron. Markoff tried to pull it down. It goes out of bounds. It'll remain Cardinal ball as Sombre will check in and replace Markoff.
He'll get a rest, but as you just saw in the last possession, that's the kind of thing that he does. He gets a hand on it, he tips it, he goes off an Angelo State player, and they keep possession. You know, that size advantage, you can't teach it. He's 7 feet tall. He's got some good hands. He gets inside, and he's active.
Livingston with the ball, gets it over to Brown. Brown working outside perimeter. As Angelo State will.
Livingston gets into the lane there, and that's really where the Cardinals are at their best, when they can get some dribble penetration or they can get in transition. That's where they've been real effective tonight.
3-point shot ricochets off the iron. It'll go back to Incarnate Word. Coast to coast. That one drops down from Liddell Brown.
Liddell Brown, he's tough, and their backcourt is so dynamic, and that's when the Cardinals are really at their best.
And the Rams call a timeout as they lose that lead. They were leading by 1, and now they stretched it down to a 6-point lead. The Cardinals do. As we'll head into the break. 49-43 is your score right now. This is the Lone Star Conference on FoxSportsSouthwest.com.
Excellence. We believe in engaging our community. We're proud of our tradition. We exemplify respect on and off the field. We conduct ourselves with integrity, and we're committed to being the best. That's why we're the one. Lone Star Conference, we're the one.
Welcome back here in San Angelo, Texas. It is a 6-point Cardinal lead over the Rams. As a timeout was called.
You know, really, I think I attribute this lead right now to a couple things for Incarnate Word. One, the inside play of Markov. He's a presence. And then two, the dynamic guard play.
Coleman inside, trying to get Nixon Hughes, and he turned the ball over, and they'll turn the ball. Cardinals will turn it right back over.
We have a media timeout.
And that's how we'll head to the timeout again. 49-43. It will be the Rams ball after this. This is the Lone Star Conference on FoxSportsSouthwest.com. Welcome back here. Under 12 minutes left in the second half. And you saw it. We'll be heading to Cameron next week with West Texas A&M, who both teams you talked about before. You know, Cameron probably outside looking in, and West Texas A&M gets a big win versus Tarleton tonight. So big-time implications in that game to conclude our regular season broadcast here on FoxSportsSouthwest.com.
Absolutely huge implications. And, you know, first and foremost, everyone's jockeying for position in the Lone Star Conference tournament. But then second, as you mentioned, I think Cameron, a great team right there on the cusp of the region with Incarnate Word, with West Texas A&M. A ton of basketball still to be played and a lot to be decided before March Madness.
Nixon Hughes drives in the lane, spin around, rejected. And I've seen Cameron play earlier this season, and when they played Tarleton, that was a close game, and Tarleton squeaked away at the tail end of that one. And you know, Cameron, a very good team over that way.
Absolutely, and you know, tough to go in there. And we've talked about it all broadcast and the game before this, that it's so tough to win on the road in the LSC.
First shot from Nixon Hughes drops down, and it'll be a 5-point lead. 13 points, make it 14. So 4 points lead for the Cardinals. As they try to fend off Angelo State.
And Angelo State's really played well tonight in the half-court defensive sets. They've done well. Where they've struggled is when Incarnate Word has got in transition and when they've been able to have some driving lanes.
That one taken back by Angelo State after the missed shot. And
Walling pulled that one down.
Scramble underneath the post. Or who wants the ball? And driving the lane by King Gilcrease. Puts it within 2. 49-47 is your score.
Gilchrist has played some good minutes, 8 points now tonight. Has been effective getting in the lane. He's distributed the basketball pretty nicely as well.
A foul going to be called.
Chris Johnson, again, we talked about how tough of a matchup he is. He gets it kind of just outside the post area there, and quick drive to the basket going left.
So the foul is going to be on Coleman, his 3rd personal foul. And Markoff will have the ball. He'll hand it over to Brown. Now goes to Ume. Another Markoff, the big guy, is going
to get him with the offensive foul. And certainly what happened there was he got tangled up with the Rams defender. And that'll be his 3rd foul. Certainly if you're the Cardinals, you don't want to see him get any more. Sat out majority of the first half with 2.
Rams will have the ball, trailing by 2, opportunity to tie or take the lead. Rouse with the ball, and now over to King Gilchrist. Huckabee for 3 for the lead off the iron. Rawls called for the foul.
His first. Team 6th foul. Next one will be bonus. Foul situation pretty even. 6 fouls on the Rams, 4 for the Cardinals. Great slip of the screen by Markoff. Didn't end up with anything there, but it was a great decision to slip that screen.
Coleman driving the lane, no good. Put back is good by Nixon Hughes. So we're tied at 49 apiece.
Hughes with 16 now, and certainly like that they were aggressive and went right at Markoff there, knowing that he has the 3 fouls.
Offensive foul again. As
Chris Johnson comes up grabbing his elbow. A bad sign for the Cardinals. We got that replay right here. Good defensive set there by the Rams, who again have excelled in half-court defense. Took the charge there. And we'll take it the other way as we got a tie basketball game here. And as we mentioned, I think we're setting up for a great finish here.
Yeah, the game's been kind of a slow-paced game. As we head down the stretch here, we're going to see both these teams scramble for the ball as you see Angelo State trying to play for their postseason lives. Incarnate Word playing their last home game of the season, wants to head into some momentum heading into the conference tournament here at the end of the month, trying to fight their way into the regional tournament to be at least an at-large bid into the NCAA tournament.
Absolutely, you want to be playing your best basketball at the end of the season.
3-point shot is good, and the Rams lead by 3.
Keenan Coleman coming alive here, 8 points now, the leading scorer on the season for the Rams. Has been somewhat quiet tonight, averages over 15.5 a game.
3-point shot, no good. Rebound by the Rams, and the fans here clapping away, trying to get their home team into this.
And you mentioned the slower pace. That has certainly favored the Rams. You know, Incarnate Word has been so effective in transition and getting out and going. And so this low score is indicative of the way that the Rams want to play this one.
So that'll put the Rams in the bonus.
Coleman at the line, trying to add to his point total, and now he has 9 for the evening. 63% free throw shooter is Keenan Coleman. He's a Flintstone from Flint, Michigan. Great basketball played up that way. When you talk about a lot of student athletes that have gone on to play at Michigan State, the team Cleaves and that whole group.
Well, put him in double figures with 10 points. And the Rams with a 5-point lead on their own. Livingston with the ball.
Trying to get it into Markov.
Markov spins around the jumper. No good. Pulled down by Livingston, but he's called for travel.
Markov loves to go to that right hook. And that time it kind of rattled in and out.
Angelo State. Showing they have plenty of
little zone here look for the Cardinals. And again, so important to attack the middle on that 2-3. Got to get some cutters and some movement. Dribble penetration, so key against the zone as well.
3-point shot again is off the back iron, and we're going to have a foul away from the basket.
Easy call by the officiating crew there. Push by the Cardinals underneath, and they'll have that foul on Roddy.
A 5-point lead with the Rams as they're telling the Cardinals, we don't care that you guys beat us on the road. This is our house. We're going to show you what to do here.
Absolutely, protecting one of the great facilities in the LSC and across NCAA Division II.
We'll take a timeout. 5-point lead for the Rams with the Cardinals. This is the Lone Star Conference on FoxSportsSouthwest.com.
Next up for the Bell softball team is
We'd like to thank the following corporate partners. Firestone, we keep your car running newer, longer. 3 shops, 1 stop, maintenance, repairs, and tires. AccuConference, providing conference calling for the Lone Star Conference. Shut Sports, official softball helmet of the Lone Star Conference. Alpha Graphics, providing printing solutions for the Lone Star Conference. My Sports Streams, providing fundraising solutions for Lone Star Conference member institutions. Bravo Health, community engagement partner of the Lone Star Conference. Adidas, official supplier of the Lone Star Conference. Jostens, official ring provider of the Lone Star Conference. Wilson, the official basketball of the LSC. In the Lone Star Conference, we're committed to respect, integrity, tradition, community, and academic excellence. Lone Star Conference, we're the one. Fans, don't forget to like the Lone Star Conference on Facebook. It's the best way to stay connected to all the latest information from around the league and join the conversation with other LSC fans. For an easy way to follow the latest happenings in the Lone Star Conference, be sure to follow the LSC on Twitter. Get scoring updates, event reminders, and breaking news when you follow the Lone Star Conference on Twitter.
Welcome back, and Angelo State will be at the line with a 5-point lead in a turnover battle. 17 compared to the Rams 9. That's Incarnate Word with the 17.
We talked about that stat earlier. Thought it would come back to haunt them a little. And really, their turnovers have come in the half-court set. They've been pretty ineffective with half-court offense. They've been a lot better in transition.
Well, Brown will drive in the lane. Now it gets over to Ume.
Sean Ume has been a little bit quiet here second half. 12 points all in the first half, was 5 of 5. Got out to a red-hot start for the Cardinals, and Angelo State has certainly keyed in on him.
Ume, jumper is good.
Right on cue. Knocks it down. 14 points tonight for Sean Ume. Hasn't missed a shot from the field. 6 of 6 now. The Cardinals are going to stay in that zone. They've got some long, lengthy, good athletes.
That one will drop down, so it goes back to a 5-point Ram lead. Ume cross court. Whistle's called.
Hanif Nixon Hughes, 18 points for the Rams. That last bucket was by him. He's had a great game. Livingston for the Cardinals will be at the line, 83% free throw shooter. 9 points on the night for him. Averages about 7.5 a game.
1-on-1 opportunity. That one will drop in before that shot. Lennox checked in for Rawls.
Cardinals shooting very well from the charity stripe tonight, but can't get that one to go.
4-point lead for the Rams. Trying to get the victory here at home. Lennox now gets it over to Huckabee. Now inside of Nixon Hughes.
He's feeling it tonight. He's a tough matchup. He's getting it done in all facets of the game. 20 points for him.
Good backwards pass down to Roddy. Brown with the ball now. A jumper tipped up and a whistle going to be called. Fans not liking that call here at home.
They don't like it. The fans are getting into this one though, as they sense their team is on the verge here. They're right there.
We're heading into that last 5 minutes of the game. We talked about in an earlier broadcast where the most important part of the game is that last 5 minutes in either half.
Yeah, I fully believe that. You know, you talk about the first 5 minutes, you want to set the tone. In the end, you want to finish strong. So I thoroughly believe that you know, those 5 minutes at the beginning and the end are just so vital.
And you look at the board for Incarnate Word, we have 4 players in double figures with Ume with 14, Brown with 10, Livingston with 10, and Johnson with 13 points. There's another whistle on the court, and it's going to be a jump ball, sending the possession arrow back to the Cardinals.
Keep it right here. 5-point Rams lead. Really needing a win, trying to make it to Allen.
Markoff with the ball, nearly loses it. And a whistle. And it's going to be called on Huckabee.
Markoff will go to the line. Just 4 points for him tonight, but is, you know, certainly sat out a lot in that first half because of 2 fouls. But does a lot more than just scoring. You know, alters a lot of shots, gets rebounds, and it's just a presence offensively.
That one will drop down, so 5 points for Markoff. And, you know, you sound kind of quiet tonight, but it's hard to miss a guy who's 7 foot tall and can do a whole lot for you defensively, where you can just stand underneath the post and just tell the kid, put your hands up and just block it.
Yeah, he alters a lot of shots just by being there, being big. And you can't teach that size. And it's certainly, you know, it's something you don't see a lot of in Division II, is a 7-footer who is as built as he is, as coordinated as he is, and he works hard.
Last shot, no good. It'll go back to the Cardinals. And timeout going to be called by Incarnate Word, as they'll drop a offensive play here after seeing this game kind of slip out of their hands, and it goes back to the Rams with a 3-point lead.
I really like the timeout call there because, you know, in my opinion, that's where the Cardinals have struggled, is in the half-court sets offensively, and so would love to see a diagram play here and get exactly what you want. You know, you certainly got a variety of weapons. You look at the scoreboard, and you've got 4 in double figures, and Markoff's right there with 6 as well. So certainly versatility for the Cardinals. Anybody can get it done.
It's not very often I see a team with shooting 33% from the field winning a game. But you look at the other part of the stats sheets, and you'll understand why.
Yeah, you know, they've done a lot of little things that don't always show up on the stat category, but help you win ball games, and that's kept the Rams in it. And they've knocked down free throws. They've turned over the Cardinals. They've done it on the rebounding edge, and so they're right in this one and currently have the lead.
Brown with the ball with 6 seconds left in the shot clock. Now to get to Johnson. Johnson, awkward jumper, will miss it off the iron, and it'll be pulled back down by Angelo State. As we head in that final 5 minutes here, we talked about the most critical stretch here for Angelo State.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not how you start it, it's how you finish it.
Three-point attempt, 6 in there.
Keenan Coleman coming alive now with 13 on the evening, their leading scorer, just when they need them.
That will go out of bounds. So made with the Cardinals, and if you're watching us late, the Angelo State Rams shot cold from the get-go, and they had a big old goose egg for shooting anywhere for the first 5 minutes of the game.
Absolutely, they started cold, and you certainly appreciate Coach Fred Reich. He took a timeout early, wasn't happy with his team, and got after him a little bit, made the adjustments, and there's a reason they've had 3 consecutive trips to the LSC tournament. He's trying to make it a 4th.
That one off the back iron. It'll go back to Incarnate Word. What a drive in the lane. Following his man, Chris Johnson.
Chris Johnson does a lot of good things. 15 tonight for him. Team's leading scorer. Also averages about 8 rebounds a game. Runs the floor extremely well. Tough matchup. Can take it off the dribble, but can also hit the outside shot.
2-point lead for Angelo State. Huckabee the ball. Drives in the lane. No, finds an open. King Gilchrist thought about the 3 and pulled back, and instead gets it over to Coleman.
And Coleman's their go-to guy when the clock's winding down. He's going to take it. That time, Sean Ume stepped up defensively, got the steal, and then a foul on Keenan Coleman.
So it'll be Incarnate Word's ball as we head into the timeout. 61-59 is your score here in St. Angelo. This is the Lone Star Conference on FoxSportsSouthwest.com.
Hoops Fix, February 29th through March 4th, when the Lone Star Conference Basketball Tournament lands at the Allen Event Center. 5 days, 14 games. It's one big wake-up basketball Lone Star style. Go to LoneStarConference.org for more info.
Welcome back here in San Angelo, Texas. The Cardinals will be going up the line to shoot 1-1. Actually, it'll be shooting 2 instead, I should say. Instead, that one, last foul, put them in a double bonus.
First miss on the night for Sean Ume from anywhere. 6 of 6 from the field, was 1 of 1 before that on the charity stripe. Knocks it down.
I'll bring it to a 1-point game here.
Ume with 15. Leading scorer for the Cardinals, along with Chris Johnson, also with 15.
Scrambling the ball. Stays with Angelo State. Now working at perimeter. 15 left in that shot clock. King Gilchrist trying to get in there. Gets inside, and a swat down. A couple players go down.
Get a block in there, but yeah, you're absolutely right. A huge block by Markov, which Angelo State might have scored that bucket if he wouldn't have come over and blocked that shot. 4th foul on Chris Johnson. Big foul on Incarnate Word, leading scorer for the team. 4 fouls on the other side. Keenan Coleman has 4 for the Rams, both leading scorers on the season in foul trouble.
Rams tonight 17 for 22 from the line, but both of these are going to be very important. Actually, be a 1-1, I should say.
Joey Lennox, 6'4" senior guard from Liberty Hill, Texas, at the line here. 75% free throw shooter on the season. We've got a little athletic training situation.
They're looking at Huckabee's hand.
Probably some blood. Getting it taped up and get him back out there.
Yeah, taping up his wrist. He'll be okay. We'll talk about some of the stats from the field. The Rams shooting 33% from the field, 33% from the arc. Incarnate Word 46% from the field, 16% from the arc.
They haven't been effective shooting the three ball, and as we've talked quite a bit here, they've been most effective in transition. Haven't been extremely great offensively when it's a half-court set.
That'll drop down. And the Cardinals 0 for 2 from the arc, and it looks like they kind of instead tried to work the inside game here in the second half. Both drop in, so it'll be a 3-point Cardinal game, Ram game, as the Cardinals will have the ball here.
Certainly a much different game than the first meeting in San Antonio. Angelo State has done a much better job controlling pace.
Livingston with the ball.
Turnover by Markov. Good defense there by the Rams. Again, they've been great. Half court defensively. They have been lights out.
3-point game, and then as we head into 2 minutes left, big possession for Angelo State to stretch it to at least a 2-possession game. Lanks with the ball. Oh, he hits over the Gilchrist. We'll have it with 6 seconds left in the shot clock. Up and in. Second chance point. Drops in by Nixon Hughes. What great job with the putback.
He's been fantastic tonight. He's been just so active, high energy. Great tip in there.
Foul going to be called. It's going to be a go against Angelo State. Going to be on Joey Lennox. 4th foul for him.
Fouls starting to pile up for both teams here. Rams with 10, Cardinals with 8. Look at the board. 2 Rams with 4 fouls. You got Chris Johnson on the other side with 4.
We'll bring up Ume at the line. Only one time we've seen him up the strike. That was for the N1. So 1-1. 1 for 1, so it's perfect. Brings his team within 4.
He's played well tonight. High efficiency player. 16 points on the evening for Sean Ume. Started out red hot.
Yeah, timeout going to be called by the Rams before the free throw.
30-second timeout.
So what do you expect here to see if you're Angelo State after the timeout? You have the shot for the cherry stripe, so you're going to have the ball back.
I expect them to obviously have a great possession here offensively. Good motion. Gilchrist, you'd love to see the ball in his hands, making some things happen. And, of course, Hanif Nixon Hughes, 22 points tonight. And then the other person you look at is Keenan Coleman. Tough to defend when you've got 3 players in double figures, and that's ultimately what you want as a coach. You want that balance, 3, 4, 5 players in double figures.
We'll see here as we have a minute 30 left on the clock.
First thing you got to do, you absolutely have to box out. You look at the Cardinals, a big team, physically imposing. You got Chris Johnson who can really jump and leap, and then you've got Markov he's got the size. So if Ume misses, you've got to box first.
Ume misses it, and a rebound, but a foul. Foul going to be called, and it's going to go against the Cardinals.
And absolutely, Rams did the little things. They got the box out. Chris Johnson fouls out on the over-the-back call. Tremendous box out. Huge loss, though, for the Cardinals.
So, opportunity now for the Rams to stretch out their lead.
And who else? Hanif Nixon Hughes at the line right now. Has had a fantastic game, 22 points. Huge block out there on a bigger Chris Johnson. And the Cardinals are going to take a timeout to discuss things here.
What do you expect, what you'd hear from the Cardinal bench right now from their coach?
Well, you know, it's the same thing. You've got a bonus situation here. So a 1-on-1 situation. You've got a box. You got to secure the rebound. And if you're the Cardinals, you want to go quickly. Attack the basket. Get a layup if you can, or the best available shot. Don't need three-pointers yet. You know, certainly if you've got an open one and it's a good shooter, you'll take it. But I'd love to see Sean Ume take it, or you know, somebody like Lindell Brown, two dynamic guards for the Cardinals, take off, attack the basket, try to make something happen. If nothing else, you get fouled at the goal line.
So it'll be Nixon Hughes at the line tonight. 6 for 9 from the stripe. As the Rams are going to play back here. As that one misses out the front iron. When Angelo State played their whole set off on the Cardinal end of the court. That one out the backboard. Angelo State will take the ball back.
You know, I don't think you need to foul right now. I think you play tough defense. You try to get the stop here, and you do the same thing. You got to go the other way and try to get a quick bucket. Mismatch here with Markov trying to guard.
12 seconds left on the shot clock. King Gilcrease pulls back. 5 left on the shot clock. The team's telling him to shoot. Long three off the back iron. Resets the shot clock. We'll go back to the Cardinals. Go time for them with 40 seconds left. Spin around. That one off the front iron. Putback is good by Ume.
Big putback by Sean Ume. Great drive, though, by Lindell Brown. Couldn't get it to go, and certainly love the activity there by Sean Ume on the offensive glass.
So 2-point lead for the Rams. 1 second difference between shot clock and game clock. So Cardinals at least had the ball back with at least a little bit over a second left. So what do you do here in this situation here, Travis?
Well, you know, obviously you're going to be up. You're going to try to deny the inbounds pass, and you're going to get a trap first available time that you can. Try to get a steal. Try to create something defensively. And, you know, obviously you can't wait for Angelo State to run down the entire clock. It's only going to give you a second. And so you've got to try to create a turnover as fast as you can here.
Get the inbound, and they're going to quickly foul.
That's a good foul. He's had a great game, but he just missed the last one, so you don't mind it. You know, sometimes you'd like to see a quick trap first, but Hanif Nixon Hughes will go to the line. 2 shots here, 75% free throw shooter on the season, and really a chance to potentially ice this one if you can knock them both down.
We talked about it before. Last time he was at the line, he missed the front iron. This one, he misses this one.
You know, statistically, probably not the guy you want to foul, but I like the call by the Cardinals because he did just miss that one.
Big free throw here. That will drop in, so it'll be a 3-point game. Here with 35 seconds left on the clock. Ume quickly across court. A whistle called and a timeout called by the Cardinals before the shot. 31.3 seconds left. And what do you expect the Cardinals to be calling here with the last shot going their way? They trail by 3.
You know, again, I still don't think you need a 3-point shot. Again, it's that first available look. Try to get something going to the basket. Lindell Brown, a dynamic guard that can really create. Sean Ume. You know, of course, their go-to guy in Chris Johnson fouled out, averages 14 a game. So, you know, I would expect something like that, maybe a high screen and roll, or just in isolation for one of those two, Shanume or Lindell Brown.
And we talked about, like in every broadcast, the parity in this conference. You have the Rams, who are 3-12 in the conference, going against a team that's 11-6. You look at the score, the Rams are leading by 3 here at home.
Absolutely, and you know, obviously, home court advantage is huge for one, but two, you're absolutely right. The parity in this league is tremendous from top to bottom. Anybody can beat anybody. You've got to bring your best basketball night in and night out in order to win, and certainly both teams have battled back and forth tonight. There's been runs, there's been adjustments, good coaches, and this one's coming right down to the wire.
And this is, again, when these two teams met. Incarnate Word won 92-51 at their house in San Antonio.
About 6 weeks ago, and you know, Coach Reich addressed that to us in the pregame, is that this is a different ball club right now than it was then. They're playing at a much higher level. They want to make the tournament. They want to keep playing, extend their season.
3-point shot off the front iron. Scramble on the court. Who's going to have the ball? And it's going to be called a jump ball. It's going to go to the Rams.
And how big was that inadvertent whistle just a few minutes ago that, you know, led to that jump ball that switched things over to Angelo State? Huge. And I'm not a huge fan of that three, but it was great hustle by the Cardinals to try to get after it. Angelo State will take the ball up by 3.
At this point, if you're the Cardinals, you got to be trying to force the hand defensively to try to get a 5-second violation.
Yeah, you know, you want to get up and pressure defense. I think when you look at who's out there, you know, any one of the Cardinals could switch and guard any of these players. And so that's what I would look to do, switch everything and try not to let them get the ball in bounds.
Quickly get the ball in bounds and try to get it across court. 15 seconds left in the clock, and it goes a foul instead. And the mad scramble across the court. It'll be on Daryl Ward. And they'll bring Angelo Slate to the line. Now our final in the Lone Star Conference, Midwestern State men beat Central Oklahoma 69-48.
And King Gilchrist at the line here, 70% on the season.
That one off the back iron. This one, you have to make this one.
Well, this is the big one. You know, this extends it to a 2-possession game. Right now, still 1. So he absolutely needed 1 of 2, and so he's got a chance here. But Rams have missed a couple down the stretch here.
That one no good. Opportunity to tie here. That one drops in, so it'll be down by 2. You gotta look for the Cardinals to quickly foul here. They call a timeout instead.
Timeout ASU.
Great drive by Lindell Brown, getting all the way to the basket. And this one's setting up to be a marvelous finish here. Rams by 1 right now with the ball. They've missed a couple free throws.
Yeah, you know, the missed free throws have kept the Cardinals in this game. In the first half, the Rams did an excellent job making their free throws, but then down the stretch, I don't know if it's butterflies trying to win here at home and get the victory, or the Cardinals, but they haven't got that clutch free throw.
You know, they haven't. And those are 2 big misses right there that have let the Cardinals sneak back in this one down 1. I think, you know, looking at things from Angelo State's perspective, I'm going to go to my guy, 15.5 points per game, Keenan Coleman. I'm trying to get him the ball inbounds here, put him at the line.
Rams on the floor have 2 players with 4 fouls. And they'll be inbounding here after they called the timeout.
Hanif Nixon Hughes, the huge game, 23 points, one of the best shooters percentage-wise at 75%. And that's who they get it into, and who will be fouled, will go to the line.
And we talked about before, he was solid in the first half, but down the stretch, not sinking them. And again, a couple big free throws here. Regardless, Cardinals have an opportunity to at least tie or take the lead, depending on what situation happens here with these free throws.
And that's why you really got to like how Lindell Brown attacked the basket. He got the 2 points for the Cardinals and has extended this game. They're still in it with a chance to either take the lead or tie it up, depending on what Nixon Hughes does here.
Makes that one. So it goes back to a 2-point ball game, and you're going to see Markoff come back in the game. Stick the big guy there in case of the, well, I was going to say in case of the rebound, but there's no players there. But it'll be a 3-point ball game regardless, and you're going to see a whistle called and get the substitution in there for Markoff. We'll see Daryl Southworth for the first time tonight. Five seconds left of the game. Ume need to get a 3 here, and shot is called, and he traveled. Oh my, that is
huge with .8. That seals the game right there, that travel call, as we've got the replay here for you. I'm not sure he would have been behind the 3-point line anyway on that, even if he would have been able to get up a shot. Pretty close there to being on the line or inside the arc.
So with 0.8 seconds left, it'll go back to the Rams. They called the timeout. You're going to expect, Travis, a quick foul by the Cardinals here to put them at the line.
Yeah, you know, they've obviously got to foul quickly with, I believe there was 0.8 seconds on the clock. So, you know, by the time you get the ball in bounds and you foul, you're not even going to have time to shoot a 3 anyway. So this one essentially in the books if you're Angelo State, as long as you can inbound the pass here.
They still have the 5-second violation you can play if you can force that hand. But 0.8 seconds, that's not a whole lot of time on the clock. How much time does it usually take to get cross court to make a shot, Travis?
Well, it has to be greater than 0.5 seconds to take a shot. Otherwise, it has to be a tip-in.
So you're looking at least probably heave across the court.
Absolutely. Tough situation here. They, you know, virtually need to get the 5-second call.
And they'll be taken in within the, right in front of the Cardinal bench, and it's going to be Markoff blocking here. Might as well stick the big guy. Put your hands up and.
Yeah, you know, you get those arms going and activity, and then they decide to sub him out here. Quick sub. But yeah, I would have liked to have seen that. Big arms and wingspan on the ball, making it difficult to even see.
0.8 seconds. We'll see what happens here on the inbound. It is inbound, and quickly a foul called.
You call that one an intentional. Refs quick over there to take care of it, to make sure nothing else happens.
They'll put 0.3 seconds on there, and you know that will probably more likely end up sealing the deal here.
Big win for the Rams. They really needed it. They're fighting for that 8th spot in the LSC tournament. Allen, Texas, February 29th through March 4th. 8 teams will go, Don, for the men.
And for the Cardinals, who were sitting number 9 in that regional ranking earlier this week, this is going to probably hurt them a little bit.
That certainly hurts. You know, you're absolutely right. You look at the strength of schedule and things like that. You know, the one point that you can make, though, is that it was on the road. Very tough to win on the road within the LSC. A lot of parity. And certainly an Angelo State team that's a different ball club. You know, they've worked through some issues here and you know, seem to be playing very well.
And they missed both from the foul line, an intentional foul. So, you know, maybe he can force something here again. And foul there, and that will end up the game. Final score, upset special here at home. Angelo State wins 68-65 over Incarnate Word. We'll be back after this. We'll be talking to a couple athletes, and we'll have the post game after this.
Weber Gardner. Firestone, we keep your car running newer, longer. 3 shops, 1 stop, maintenance, repairs, and tires. AccuConference, providing conference calling for the Lone Star Conference. Shutt Sports, official softball helmet of the Lone Star Conference. Alpha Graphics, providing printing solutions for the Lone Star Conference. My Sports Streams, providing fundraising solutions for Lone Star Conference member institutions. Bravo Health, community engagement partner of the Lone Star Conference. Adidas, official supplier of the Lone Star Conference. Jostens, official ring provider of the Lone Star Conference. Wilson, the official basketball of the LSC. In the Lone Star Conference, we're committed to respect, integrity, tradition, community, and academic excellence. Lone Star Conference, we're the one. Fans, don't forget to like the Lone Star Conference on Facebook. It's the best way to stay connected to all the latest information from around the league and join the conversation with other LSC fans. For an easy way to follow the latest happenings in the Lone Star Conference, be sure to follow the LSC on Twitter. Get scoring updates, event reminders, and breaking news when you follow the Lone Star Conference on Twitter. Welcome back to the LSC SportsSouthwest.com, joined by Angelo State University student athlete Hanif Nixon Hughes. Big game for you tonight, 25 points, none bigger than the 2 free throws that you knocked down to really ice it.
Right. You know, if you watch the game, I had missed a couple before, then I went to the line, basically took my time, deep breaths, followed through and knocked them down.
What's the mindset there? You did miss a couple, but you came back and redeemed yourself. What were you thinking going in those last few?
Concentration, you know, I noticed I was missing them long, I'm missing them short, so I know that's concentration. So I just went to the line, concentrated on making a shot, and I knocked the 2 down for the team.
A great overall game for you, active on the boards. You do a lot of little things for this team. Talk about your other contributions as well.
You know, I'm like a utility guy. You know, if I see I'm not scoring, I'll rebound. If I'm not rebounding, I'll score. I get on the floor. You know, I just do what Coach asked me to do. I'm sort of like the glue to the team.
Absolutely, you do whatever it needs to be done. That's great. A huge win for your team tonight. You're fighting for the Lone Star Conference tournament. Talk about what this means to the team.
Asking night was a big win for us. You know, Coach told us the day was like for us to get into the tournament. So, you know, the day we came out here and gave it our all. You know, as you see, we came out with the W, rebounding, running our offense, executing, just doing what we need to do to the T, and we came out with the W.
Absolutely. And as you look forward here, as season winds down, in your mind, what are some keys for you?
You know, basically we're trying to go to the tournament, go far in the tournament. No matter what seed we get, we're just going to keep on going hard, doing what we got to do to get W's.
All right, thanks for joining us,
Thank you.
We'll be right back. This is the LSC on FoxSportsSouthwest.com.
Angelo State University. Affordable, better, closer. With one of the lowest tuition and fee schedules in Texas, Angelo State is affordable for all. Recognized by the Princeton Review as one of the top 4 public universities in the state, ASU is better than you imagine. And Angelo State's central location in Texas makes it closer than you think. Enjoy the freedom to explore your interests, cultivate your talents, and shape your future at Angelo State University. From here, it's possible.
Welcome back. We see an upset here at home as we saw plenty of games tonight here in the Lone Star Conference. We talked about that parity and have been here for the Rams being Incarnate Word here in St. Angelo.
Well, they absolutely came out and executed their game plan. They're fighting to be in the tournament, and you just love to see that this time of year. Anything can happen, and really I think they did a good job of controlling tempo, played outstanding in half-court defensive sets, and got the win.
And Hanif Nixon Hughes, 25 points, a career high. Talk about his game tonight.
It just, you heard from him earlier, he's a utility guy. He does so much for the team. He gets on the boards. He knocked down some big threes and some big shots, and then ultimately the 2 big free throws to really ice this one.
You look at the stats line, 33% from the field for the Rams, but that doesn't matter. They get the victory tonight here. The Rams go to 11-15 overall, 4-12 in the Lone Star Conference. Incarnate Word, 16-10 overall, 11-7 here in the in the Lone Star Conference. This is going to be a lot for the Cardinals to fight on, considering they have a long break here heading down the stretch.
Yeah, you mentioned it. They've got next week to really think about this one, and that can be good though too. You can really prepare for your upcoming game and see who your matchup's going to be, and obviously their goal to win the Lone Star Conference tournament and to make the regional.
And they find themselves at the 9th seed here in the regional, heading down the stretch, and we'll head down to Cameron next week for another big game.
Absolutely. West Texas A&M and Cameron University is going to be two great ones. Again, women's first, followed by the men, and huge implications on the line there, not only Lone Star Conference, but for the region.
Yeah, broadcast time will start at 1:45 in the afternoon, so make sure a little bit different time compared to our normal broadcast schedule, so keep note of that. Until next time, we'll see you guys in the semifinal for the regional, the conference tournament, I should say, here in a couple weeks. So until then, we wish you guys a good week. This is the Lone Star Conference on FoxSportsSouthwest.com.